This was not the first time of me telling this story. This has been years. It started me telling this story when my sister passed away. So this is like years of me getting to this point, to this layer. I always stand true by what I said. I always stand true by what happened. And I don't know if there was a right or wrong way, the way I handled it. I don't think that there was. And with what I speak with my therapist with, there was no right or wrong way to tell the story. I just had to tell the story.
You had stepbrothers. Did they come with her? Were they part of the package, or did they come along later?
They came along later.
Okay.
So my sister is 3 years younger than I am. My oldest younger brother is 4 years. And then after that, it's 8 years.
Okay.
So they came after. And it's unfortunate that even now we don't have a relationship because you were just pit against each other.
Yeah.
So the household was like all for one and one for all. You better guard up.
Wow.
And it's not really healthy.
No, definitely not. No. You know, I was wondering, like, what would the effects of those circumstances be on the younger brothers, because it would be very difficult for them to, I guess, develop respect towards you and your sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't see eye to eye because the way they see life is very different than the way I've seen it. And so for them, it's hard, which is understandable.
Yeah.
When I'm speaking these things about their mother, these are quite harsh accusations
of course.
that I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you were not there to grasp what was happening, then perhaps you think and be like, I think this is a little far-fetched.
Yes.
And that was something that was really hard for me because I come from this family.
Something strange is happening with Ashlee and the Braxton family, and it's getting messier by the day. For years, Ashlee has been consistent about her experiences with abuse, telling her story again and again in interviews, in videos, making sure the timeline always added up. But now, all of a sudden, she's changing her tune. She's downplaying what happened, minimizing the trauma she's spoken about for years. And that raises a huge question. What happened? Who could have influenced her to shift her story so drastically? This isn't just a small change in perspective. Victims don't randomly wake up one day and decide their past wasn't as serious as they thought. Something, or someone, intervened. And the ripple effect is starting to make people question everything we thought we knew about Ashlee, her family, and the secrets that may be hiding just beneath the surface. For years, Ashlee's story was rock solid. Every interview, every video, every post lined up perfectly. The timeline never wavered, the details never changed, and anyone paying attention could see she was speaking her truth. But now, all of a sudden, she's backtracking. She's saying it wasn't that bad, that maybe she overreacted, that the trauma wasn't as serious as she once claimed. And that's not just unusual, it's a major red flag. Survivors don't randomly minimize their own trauma. When someone has been consistent for years and suddenly changes their narrative, it usually points to external influence. Somebody got in her ear. Somebody made her feel like she had to protect a story, protect someone, or protect a reputation. And that's where the questions start piling up. Who would want Ashlee to suddenly soften her claims? Who stands to gain from her silence or confusion? The shift isn't just about memory or healing, it's about pressure. And the sudden nature of it makes you wonder if someone powerful enough intervened behind the scenes. Because when a survivor changes their story like this, it rarely comes from the trauma itself. Something else is driving it, and that something else could be the beginning of a much bigger story. Ashlee doesn't gain anything by softening her story. She's already shared her truth for years, and suddenly minimizing her trauma doesn't help her. It only raises suspicion. So, if it's not Ashlee, who stands to gain? The answer points directly to the family. The Braxtons have built an empire on their public image, but behind the cameras, there's a history of secrecy, control, and protecting the family name. When someone in the family is exposed or accused of wrongdoing, the priority seems to be shielding reputations rather than supporting those who've been hurt. That makes you wonder, was Ashlee pressured to protect the family? Did someone convince her to change her narrative so that certain secrets could stay buried? The more you look, the more it starts to feel like a cover-up. And it gets even murkier when you consider how this silence might be enforced. Not just emotional pressure, but potential digital suppression. Ashlee's content has been out there for years, but very few people knew about it. Videos that should have gained traction remained almost invisible. That raises the question, was her voice being quietly silenced to keep the family's private issues from reaching the public? Whatever the method, the end goal seems clear: protecting the family, not protecting Ashlee. If you look at Ashlee and Towanda side by side, the resemblance is striking. Facial features, bone structure, even the shape of her face. It's hard to ignore. People have noticed it for years, and while we don't have DNA proof, the visual evidence alone raises serious questions. Could it be that there's more to Ashlee's family story than we've been told? The theory goes even deeper when you factor in the birth certificate confusion. Ashlee claims her mother's name was removed from it, a change that legally can't happen casually. Altering a birth certificate requires court orders, official documentation, and serious legal processes. That means either she was misinformed or someone went through official channels to hide the truth. Either way, it adds weight to the possibility that Towanda, who raised Ashlee, might actually be her biological mother. It's not just about resemblance. When you put these pieces together, the physical similarities, the legal paperwork, and the secrecy surrounding her upbringing, it starts to form a picture of deliberate concealment. Something is being hidden, and Ashlee's own confusion about her family might not be a mistake. It could be the result of years of misinformation carefully reinforced by those around her. Despite being connected to one of the most famous R&B families, Ashlee's voice remained almost invisible for years. Her videos, interviews, and posts about her experiences rarely gained traction. Views were low, engagement minimal, and her story barely reached the public eye. That's not just bad luck. This looks like deliberate suppression. Shadow banning, algorithmic hiding, or other forms of content control could explain why her truth stayed buried for so long. Adding to the mystery is Ashlee's father. She's claimed that he wanted her to stop speaking publicly, that she faced threats, and that she felt unsafe for sharing her experiences. Why would a parent try to silence their own child? Normally, people try to suppress lies, not truth. The fact that he allegedly tried to control what she says suggests there's something he wanted hidden, something serious enough to warrant silencing his daughter. When you connect the dots, the invisibility of her content, the alleged pressure from her father, and the family's history of controlling narratives, it paints a clear picture. Ashlee wasn't just unlucky with views, she may have been deliberately kept quiet. And if her silence serves to protect the family's reputation, it begs the question, what secrets are they desperate to keep buried? For years, Ashlee never mentioned having brothers. Then suddenly, she reveals not only that they exist, but that they are her half-brothers. This isn't a small detail, it completely changes the family picture. Who are these brothers? Why were they hidden from the public? And why did it take so long for this information to come out? The timing and secrecy suggest more than just oversight. It points to deliberate concealment. Families sometimes hide members or relationships to control narratives, protect reputations, or prevent conflict. In Ashlee's case, the sudden reveal of half-brothers fits perfectly with the pattern we've been seeing. Information about her life has been controlled, filtered, and only revealed on specific terms. These hidden relationships also explain some of Ashlee's confusion about her family. If adults around her selectively shared information or reinforced a certain story about her parents, it would make sense why she only recently discovered key truths about her siblings. Each new revelation adds another layer to the mystery and raises more questions about what else the family may have been keeping quiet. The Braxton family has a long history of public abuse allegations, and Ashlee isn't the only one speaking out. Tamar has shared her own experiences, Trina's ex has been involved in scandals, and other patterns of conflict and trauma have surfaced over the years. When you see multiple instances like this within one family, it's hard to dismiss them as isolated incidents. What stands out is the contrast between the family's public image and private reality. On TV, the Braxtons project transparency, drama, and keeping it real. Behind the scenes, though, it seems protecting the family name often takes priority over supporting those who've been hurt. This pattern adds context to Ashlee's sudden shift. She's not just one person speaking out, she's part of a larger story where secrets and control have long shaped the family dynamic. Understanding this history is crucial because it frames why Ashlee's experiences, her sudden minimization of trauma, and the pressure to stay silent aren't just random events. They fit into a bigger pattern of secrecy, influence, and image control, where the family's reputation has repeatedly outweighed individual well-being. Children don't always have the tools to question authority figures, and over time, repeated stories, true or false, can shape how they remember events. If Ashlee was fed misinformation as a child about her parents, her birth certificate, or her siblings, it would be easy for her to internalize it as truth. Memories aren't perfect recordings. They're shaped by what we're told and what we're allowed to see. This doesn't mean Ashlee's experiences weren't real. Her trauma remains valid regardless of who raised her or what documents say. Even if she misunderstood some family details growing up, the abuse she suffered is still abuse. And the fact that adults may have manipulated or controlled her understanding of her own history only highlights how complex and layered this story really is. When you put it all together, document confusion, hidden siblings, shifting stories, and parental influence, it explains why Ashlee's narrative has changed over time. It's not a matter of forgetting or lying. It could very well be the result of years of external pressure, misinformation, and attempts to control what she knew or could say. When you look at all the pieces together, the story becomes hard to ignore. Ashlee's sudden shift in narrative, the physical resemblance to Towanda, the birth certificate confusion, hidden half-brothers, content suppression, and alleged pressure from her father all point in the same direction. There are secrets being protected, and someone is doing everything they can to keep them buried. Even without DNA evidence, the circumstantial evidence is strong. The family's history of controlling narratives, their public image versus private reality, and the repeated pattern of abuse all line up with the theory that Ashlee has been silenced and misled for years. And while some details of her story may be confusing or misremembered, her trauma is real, valid, and deserves to be heard. So here's the question for you. Do you believe the Towanda theory? Do you think Ashlee is being silenced by her family? Could there be a cover-up happening right in front of our eyes? Drop your opinions in the comments and let us know. Every new detail matters, and if there's more to uncover, it's worth digging deeper. Until then, stay curious, question everything, and remember that sometimes the most shocking stories are the ones hiding in plain sight.